Hey, good morning, fam. Hope y'all doing well. How y'all feeling today? Hope everything is going well for you, and welcome back to the channel. Let me see if I can get a little bit better in the sun real quick. Let me adjust myself. See if I can just adjust just a little bit more. Not quite sure if I'm coming in clear, but if you can, as you're in, let me know if you can hear me and see me. We started out this morning pretty cool, you know. Just a few days ago, it was pretty much high 70s, tapping onto 80s door. And then we got down to 34, 35 degrees. And uh, today was fairly cold. And I think we got a few more cold days. So they say we got Wednesday, we got Thursday, is, and I think maybe Friday we'll start building up, start warming up. But I hope everything's going good. Hey, Gigi, what's up? If you can hear me and see me clearly, let me know. If I need to get a little bit more in the sun, I can adjust too. On top of that, when I started, the sun was just shining down, raining down on me, but now it's kind of behind the trees, so yeah, it's all good though. Hope all is going well. Hope everything's doing well in your way, and I hope you're just feeling blessed. I don't know. Let's have a conversation real quick. So, how y'all feeling? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, fam, and most of my audience is a mature audience, and I do have some sprinkles of some young people, which I welcome in the young people. I encourage more and more young people to kind of come on in, and this is a way you can have fellowship with someone that got a little bit more seasoning, and we can have some dialogue, we can converse, and we can communicate. This technology. We got to use it for our benefit. We got to use it to make sure that we can communicate and talk to each other. Whether we do it virtually or whether we do it face to face, we still got to keep in contact, and we got to keep in contact with people other than just our age, race, and creed, and all that good stuff, y'all. So I hope y'all doing good. What's up, Warren? What's going on, Warren? Good to see you. Good to see you. Gigi says, I can hear you and see you. Perfect, perfect. Welcome on in. I appreciate y'all coming in. As you all know, time is ticking. Time is on the clock and it is ticking. We got a lot of different things that's changing all around us. The weather is getting crazy. We watching, man, y'all seen the planes? I don't know if y'all, let me know if y'all seen the planes. Now, there's no way in the world y'all can't tell me it's something behind these planes. When planes were, quote, the most safest travel, pretty much as far as mass traveling people, from my understanding. They said, not trains, but they said planes were one of the safe. Now, we're watching these messages. You can't tell me these are not straight up messages, fam. Uh, it's like, just in case, every single accident is like, just in case you thought that this was freak or it wasn't orchestrated. I'm not saying who did it, whenever they did, but it's something going on, and we I don't just mean America, but people, period. It's a little attack, man, going on. We don't. When the last time you ever heard that about hacks? You notice at one time we used to hear a lot more about hacks. You mean tell me the hackers done quit hacking? You mean tell me that this is a new, like long time ago when you go back to the world wars, you had subtleties, but now the global attack is through your health, through mind control, images, marketing, propaganda, through technology, through a lot of stuff, and you don't understand if you don't get that we are in full ray war, period. And the problem is, as us as citizens, most of us, we don't know who we warring with. We don't know who to trust. We don't know what's going on. So I always say it's a global warfare. It's much bigger than just here internally, the rich elites versus the world elites. You got this thing where uh, it's too many of us, is not enough resources. We got to come up with different ways to feed us. Uh, some people say they're working on, well, they've been working on finding different ways for us to eat, and the majority of the ways are not organic. And You have corporations, pharmaceutical companies, they don't mind giving you scares. And I'm going to say this because it's real. I mean, history shows itself. And we're watching. What I'm more shocked about more than anything is that it seems like we are just sitting here allowing it to happen. It seems like, and my question is, I think there's been a successful job in not allowing us to have direct avenues to communicate. But we do have them on social media, but then they shut that down. You know, if you get a little too squirrely with your conversation, they'll start suppressing you. They'll shut it down. You know, you'll see every now and then they'll trickle one or two messages out, but if it's something pro where they align ideas with. But how do you reach? And then we got these sorry jokers, man. It's so many sorry, well-fed, fat jokers up in these what houses, these places, and then we got people that promote this crazy stuff. There's no way in the world that you can believe that the wealthy is on your side. There's no way in the world you can believe that the wealthy are on your side. Out of all the stuff we can cut, we couldn't jobs, we couldn't careers, and we ain't tapping or touching or scratching the surface on getting equal share. I don't even hear nothing about equal share. For example, if I walk into a building and I gotta pay a $10 cover charge, because you rich, you pay $1 cover charge. Why would we want to give someone that's rich a discount? I don't understand our mindset. I really don't understand that. I'm gonna get into the Social Security because this is gonna tap into the Social Security. I'm getting older. I'm now trying to figure out what's going on, what this system is, and I never. And this is the problem, you that I made mistakes, and I'm confessing myself. If you're young, if you're 25 or under, or if you 35 and under listening right now, I did not research the future. You know, we were just blindly guided to this is what you do, this is how you trust, believe in the corporations, believe in these 401, 4K, 403s, and believe in these RAs, believe in all of your resources going to a portal. And you just leave it in their hands and they can do a far better job than you can. And if you ever need it, you can't touch it. And if you do get lucky enough to touch it, they're going to tax you and tax you and tax you. Now, we're not talking about maybe we can reduce some of the taxes on you penalizing me for touching my money. See, we ain't touching none of that. But once again, let's go back to the cover charge. If I have to pay $10, which I make far less than a billionaire, millionaire, quadrillionaire, but the higher they make, the less they put in. And then they say lack of funding. We need to find resources. Fam, let me tell y'all, stop going for the okie doke. They will give you marketing is real. And I didn't understand how important marketing was until I became a grown man. Grew up in marketing, I did sales, I did a lot of stuff, but I didn't understand how powerful it is when you can create an idea in thin air and it becomes factual. It becomes true. And another thing I didn't realize how important was emotions and feelings. Now, we are sitting here in the day and time that we're allowing our emotions, our feelings to drive us. And we that could be hate, that could be jealousy, that could be envy, that could be joy, that could be pain, that could be a lot of stuff. But at one time, we got to realize that it's come reckoning time. And reckoning time is already in the house, it's already here, it's already sitting. And how do you stop it? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. But I'm just going to talk about something, one simple thing. But I want you to think about this one simple thing and then multiply it times a billion and understand how screwed up we just been sitting here, just being servants to systems and people that don't care nothing about you, period. And if you're not productive, you're not adding value to their lives, then you no longer need it. You're no longer necessary. It's not about the value adding to your family, not about you want to take more time with your family, not about you want to raise your kids, not about you want to hold your grandkids. but we want to squeeze as much out of you as we possibly can. When I worked at a manufacturing company, and because what I'm going to talk about, I won't call these companies because I don't want them to feel some kind of way. But because we're going to go a little bit deep, because I really want to ask you a question about this Social Security. And if you're young, please hold on and pay attention to me because I'm going somewhere. Because this is going to affect you one way or the other. At one time I was 19, 20, 30 years old, 35 years old. And yeah, I saved money and yeah, I invested. But hold on, because this is going to be very important. And I want you to see where I'm going. But they had this, we had a manufacturing machine, and it was gigantic, man. It took up buildings. And alongside the assembly line, I was like a lead technician, right? So I kind of led a certain section of the um, the assembly line. Then on top of that, uh, I was like maintenance, backup maintenance leader. So we had every single part labeled. Every single part was numbered. Every single part, if it didn't have a serial number, we made a serial number. We documented everything. This thing was down to the T. But some parts on that machine was called, they were deemed run to failure. If you never heard that term, that means you do not replace that part. The machine tears down, machine breaks. You do whatever you can to keep that machine running. If it's grinding, if it's falling apart, you do not take that part off until it completely fails. It no longer turns if it rotates. It no longer presses if it presses. It no longer grinds if it grinds. And there were parts on that assembly line that were run to failure. And my fam, I'm telling y'all, there's certain people in this country and in this world that has been deemed and labeled run to failure. And when I say they don't care, they don't care. So you have to protect you and know that you're an asset. Sometimes you got to get out of that machine. When they put you got to do whatever you can because we're not a part. And the only way you're going to break this is by being more self-reliant, being more not dependent on external resources that you can't control. And it does not mean we can't. But just don't let that be your all being all and all, and stop being blinded by knowing that this is the savior, the ultimate answer. Because this is the crazy thing. Debt is real. And you got people that have debt and they thrive and become very wealthy off of debt, which is other people's money, other people's back, other people's sweat equity. And they not planning on paying it back, and it get passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. So what in the hell do you think they want to erase debt for when they live and thrive off of it? It makes no sense. Out of all the stuff you want to touch, most people, they middle class, right? Guess what happens? When you reduce good paying, well paying jobs, get what you reducing? The economy. You tanking the economy, and what you're doing, you're filling a big old gap, getting bigger and bigger, and the gap getting wider and wider. And so all you got is just people at a low frequency far as finances, nothing in the middle, no steps or no ladders to get you through. Every now and then we'll sprinkle a little bit, a couple of people sprinkle through, can find some innovation, some ingenuity, can be creative, make something out of nothing, and every now and then they'll trickle up through there. But the problem is what I'm saying, fam. Let's imagine this. Imagine if you went to work, you clocked in or you filled in your time, you logged in your time, you badged yourself in, and you work for 8 hours. And in the company that you work for, the day that you work, they did phenomenal with their sales or contracts or whatever you want to call it. They did amazing. Now imagine every day they did that, they gave you a percentage off of how well they did. You got paid what you got paid, but then they gave you a percentage off of every time that every day you was productive and every day that they made profits. Imagine every single day that you came to work, your team, your co-workers, imagine the morale if they knew that if they offered excellent customer service, they solved problems, they provided great service, they did this. Now imagine if you knew that based on the ratings that the customers gave, based on the dollar per cost value, that they ended up saying our profits were high for this month. And with that, we're going to distribute a certain percentage out of that on top of your pay. Now, every month, if we continue to grow and do better, we will continue to pay you more. But we're going to pay you every single day that you create um you create wealth within this company. We're going to give you a piece of it. Imagine your mindset. But this is the crazy thing. It happens to the wealthy every single hour, every single minute. When you got all of this money, man, I'm telling y'all, man, eventually people gonna have to knock on people's doors, man. Because you getting this part where we getting so separated, fam. And we fighting amongst each other instead of really uniting and getting to the part where we're like, enough is enough. I'm not gonna keep I'm not gonna keep supporting this foolishness. You know, I can't do it. I can't go in there by myself. But together we can. But at the same time, I'm like, enough is enough, fam. But let me get grounded. Let me slow down a little bit because um I'm ready for war. Some people ain't ready for war. I ain't talking about no civil war. I ain't talking about none of that. But I'm ready to let my dollar speak for my speak for my work and my time, which is my most valuable asset. I'm ready for my dollar. I'm ready for my feet to get to walking. I'm ready to grow my own food. I'm ready to cultivate my land. I'm ready to build my village. I'm ready to build a kingdom. I'm ready to use my own currency, not your currency. I'm ready and I'm willing and ready for more. And we got to do it all over the world because enough is enough. It's silly. This is crazy. Every single day for the last, since I've been 14 years old, I've worked a job. And the only time I was off, and I really went off then because I was hustling then, but maybe 9 months of my whole career, and I'm damn near 52 years old right now. All right. So I done paid into the system, and I'm going, here we go to Social Security. I'm paid in the system, fam. They've been taken out every single time, but it ain't just me. Millions upon billions upon people gone, left here, all of that. They paid in the system. They said the baby boomers were the big, but the millennials coming behind. You mean tell me millennials not working? They paying into the system. You're not supposed to use the money to for other resources. You're not supposed to borrow against it. You're not supposed to use it to pay off debt. It's supposed to be in an account like what we're supposed to do because we're not responsible. Remember, fam, they more responsible than we are with our money that we don't get a choice that they take. And then we sitting here and we watching this dude. I wish we could paint people sometime. I just wish we could. I wish we could paint people because a lot of this stuff wouldn't be tolerated, man. A lot of this stuff wouldn't be tolerated. We watching this dude coming in here and he's saying, "Hey, I'm finna find some ways to streamline this. He's great. He's amazing. He did." Fam, this man ain't for your benefit. The gap is good. When it all hits the fan, they won't be here. It's like growing up. You growed up with this dude, and he always seen the things go his way. And you, no matter where you go, he was kind of like the dude that really didn't say nothing. But then when he said something, he got people and he pumped a bunch of people up. And then everybody get in a fight. Then you get in a fight. Then you look around. He ain't never nowhere around, right? He's like that dude, right? Every time you go and we get in trouble, you can't never see this, find this dude. How this dude getting out? How did where he gone? And then after a while, we need to be smart enough to be like, I see you egging us on. I ain't going for it. I see you pumping. I see you pumping it, but I'm not going for it. It's what you want. Don't you understand? This is what you voted for. This is what you want. Hell no, this ain't what I want. I, I ain't want this. But guess what? people be like, by what you say. So I've seen time where people comment, yeah, you can tell you voted for such and such. You can tell you vote. And the crazy thing, people don't know. But when you try to come up with strategies and answers, then they want to put you in a box instead of saying, look, it don't matter who you voted for. You in here now. You in the pot now. So what you gonna do? If you ain't coming up with no strategies, no solutions, then something wrong. And what I'm saying is everybody need to write something down, send an email, need to do something about not touching the Social Security. Because let me just share this with y'all. And I know a lot of y'all probably already know about this, but I'm getting closer to it. And I'm like, hey, but I'm watching people panicking and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to share something with you. So let me just say this. Have you ever heard of a Social Security cap as far as the amount of money you make? If y'all heard of Social Security cap, I want you to put I heard in the chat. If you heard of Social Security chat. And meanwhile, while I wait for y'all to say I heard of it, I'm finna go in here and take a look at some of the people that's in this chat. I welcome everybody. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dulo, North Carolina, what's going on? Toy, McCormick, what's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome in. Guardian Prepping, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, just promote a bunch of fears and distractions. What are they distracting? Fam, we better be careful. It's too late. We're going to have to unite because, look, the what they call it, the worms, what they call them, the spifing or spiffing or whatever they call them, hacks and them viruses. It's already in there. It's already in there. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is secret no more. And it's worldwide now. Because these people ain't working on no United States level. They working on a worldwide level, fam. And they ain't coming in humble and meek or none of that. And what I'm saying, when this AI transition, because that's what we're preparing for, the whole key is they have to get as much information as possible and then test it in this new AI. And by around 2030, 2035, this super AI, the world is going to change. And we ain't even going to understand what we're getting ready to embark on. Your freedoms and your whatever you thought you had, you're going to be praying for just a piece of it, the piece that you got. If I don't know what it's going to take, but we better do something, fam. We better talk to somebody. And these sorry cats up here, they need to rise up, man. They need to rise up. And if they ain't rising up, we need to figure out a way we can fire them jokers, man. Get them out of there because ain't nobody saying nothing, man. Ain't nobody saying that. I don't want to see no reel of somebody that's gone on beyond the glory and what they talked about in the 50s and the 60s. I don't want to hear no more about none of that. I want to hear what's going on right now and you side by side. I don't want to hear about we need to come together to save water and conserve and do. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to see some breaks. I want to see some lockups, some accountabilities, and I want to see some disbursements from this point on. That's the only thing I want to hear because this is a shame that we are begging to be oppressed. We are pleading due to enviness, due to greed, due to wanting to be like what the good book say. You probably don't want to be this rich because your glory is going to be right here. And I know there's more to life than this because something created this. And I definitely don't want this to be capped on me. So I don't know, fam. I don't know. What's up, Nikki? What's going on? Good to see you, Nikki. I don't expect anyone else to be a 10-4 hater prepper like myself. But seriously, get the basics covered for a couple of months. We're going to need more than a couple of months, Guardian. Fam, we're going to need, this is a reset, fam. We're going to have to get back together, man. We need a Dr. Brooker. We're going to need some mechanics. We're gonna need some farmers. We're gonna need to go back to like when I grew up in the late '70s in South Georgia, where every yard in the hood, what they call now the hood, we call it across the tracks. Every yard had a garden. Every single yard had a garden. And whatever you couldn't grow, your neighbor growed. And whatever your neighbor couldn't grow, you growed and you shared it. Whenever you had a bounty or more of it, you sold it and shared it. You did both of them. You sold it and you shared it. My big mama made cakes in her retirement. My big mama cooked food in her retirement. She had a diner a long time ago. Then she sold the diner and went and growed in her own yard. And guess what she did? She was an entrepreneur within herself. But let me tell you, the difference is between when she was here and now, number one, we don't know each other. We don't trust each other. We wouldn't eat the food. We don't even know how to reach out to each other than through this stuff here, social media. Then on top of that, by the digital currency and AI, they gonna know that you done bought some flour. They gonna see how much flour you bought, how much ingredients you bought, how your electricity bill been higher than normal on your smart stove. Your refrigerator gonna keep an inventory on what you putting in there, and all that stuff gonna go into the cloud. And they're gonna say, is they running a business? Do they have a business license? AI gonna be like, do they have a business license? Wait a minute. Where are they getting the revenue for these transactions? Let's halt it right now and do an investigation. And let's figure out. And all she doing is just cooking cakes to just make ends meet, cooking some cookies to make ends meet, cooking some dinners to make ends meet. Fam, what I'm telling you, the warfare ain't pretty. But then the wealthy gonna be able to just balling out, just riding out, and just doing whatever, and push the button, put a halt on that. And what we gonna do? They already know about transaction before it happened. They already using AI to do investing, to do smart investment. The stock market gonna be running 24/7. It's gonna be outpacing all the little smart investors that are learning investing. And by the time more and more people learning about investing, they already got a system that's gonna outpace them, outperform them, and it's gonna move so quick that we ain't gonna be able to move as fast as they are. And we're gonna have to come up with some different ways. We're gonna have to strategize some different ways, fam. We they'll just say, look, eggs, ooh, toilet paper. And we just blindly just keep doing this stuff, man. And we gotta stop it, man. We gotta stop. I ain't buying no damn eggs. Well, you got chicken. Even I didn't have no chicken, I ain't buying no eggs. I ain't buying no tissue. I got leaves out here. Oh, you need to get this, you need to get that, because that's the fad. That's the propaganda to keep piping, just pipe. Let's stop being stupid. Because it's time out for this. And all this stuff is toying with us, and we're not paying attention to what's really going on. But I'm gonna get back. Let's go back to Social Security. That's what I really came for. I just want to do this, go through this little exercise real quick about Social Security, because a lot of us viewers and a lot of y'all watching, y'all around my same age group, and I want to show you how to be playing with us, and I want to show you how they gonna continue to try to play. This clown said 150-year-old people still on the books for Social Security. See, we need to audit stuff like that. Man, you that intelligent. That's the best thing you give it to the American people. That out of all of this stuff, the DEI, all of this other stuff, which I know I've been a victim. I ain't talking about what I thought about. And some of y'all, well, y'all supported this, and y'all don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know the idea. You have no idea my journey, where I've been, what's going on. You ain't even privy to what I know, which I know a lot that I can't even share because of you have to sign so much stuff. But they breaking all the rules. See, I know government. I know a lot of stuff. I could tell you back and forth about DEI. I've been a statewide leader of the DEI program for years, right? I know about DEI. I knew it was under attack years ago. I was on the forefront during the attack, but didn't nobody want to listen. Didn't nobody want to stand up. Didn't nobody want to say that. I knew the effect that it was going to cause. I knew the uproar. I knew all the farmers that were going to be affected, all the women business owners, all the quote minority business owners. Never liked that name. I knew the effect of contracts, government contracts. And now I do know it's a conflict of interest, which everybody has to sign in government. But we are not paying attention to these rules and statutes that's been put in place, and there are lawbreakers, not lawmakers. We watching lawbreakers. Do you not know that you cannot be in government and do transactions where you are privy to information before the solicitations happen, before the procurements happen? I'm watching a clown that wasn't even elected, none of this stuff, and he's up here getting billions of dollars from government, privy to information, and even leading information, and even coaxing information. He's supposed to be locked up. Bottom line, they lock up every day. These government workers that everybody are so far against and so much against, they not doing nothing. All we do is facilitate. All government workers do is facilitate. The politicians, the legislators, the Congress, they do what they're going to do. And then they issue orders. They issue dollars. And the government workers facilitate. So what we watching is no words from Congress, no words from legislators. And all we got is just the uproar, pure evil, separation. No nobody want to open up their mouth. Don't nobody want to say sit down or get out or whatever. And we watching it. Now this clown say 100 people on the books for 150. That's how. What's the percentage of that? Since this is the thing, you want to play with numbers. What's the percentage of people that's on Social Security of 150 years old? If you did find that, all you gotta do is shut it down. You ain't talking about no billions of dollars. You're not talking about no real money. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop playing these games, right? But let's talk about some real numbers, okay? I'm gonna toy with y'all with some real numbers. Did you all not know? Wait a minute, let me go down because I said I was gonna find out how many. Resilient Dad, what's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. As always, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Teresa, what's going on, Teresa? There it is. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for showing love and support, man. Kathy B, what's going on, Kathy B? Good to see you. So, I see a no. I've heard Teresa. I've heard my boring life. What's going on? Say I've heard. When you tell people we need to unite, they think you are being extra. They are being nonchalant about it. And what I'm saying is, when I'm talking about unite, I'm not talking about kind of what the propaganda and the media be talking about. I'm talking about it's clear and it's evident. You ain't got enough guns. You ain't got no missiles. You ain't got no big high-powered drones. You don't have none of that. But the power is in the people, and it will always be in the people. Numbers don't lie. If I can get 1 cent off of every American citizen, that's a bunch of money. If I can get the workforce to come on my land and help me cultivate the land, my land will look totally different. What I'm saying is power in our time and our resources and our talents. They can't take away the education. They can't take away your God-given talents and your time. You own your own time. But for so long, we've been working and working and working, making people billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, and we ain't holding them accountable at all as a whole. There's some outliners, and I salute, and I would love to find out how can I help in the process. But we got to have strategies, and not only just, okay, we did it for right now. Now, no, there has to be some reevaluation on what we do. And I ain't talking about new laws. I ain't talking about no new legislation, no capping people money on how much they can and how they ain't. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm just saying you come to the table, you eating at the table, you got to bring something to the table, the same what I got to bring. If you're coming into the event and you're paying for a ticket, and you're paying for the ticket, you need to at least pay the amount that the people paid at the lowest for the ticket. At least do that. If you did that, it'll save so much stuff like taxes. Hello. Stop tucking it away. Stop funneling it through these trusts, through these nonprofits. Stop funneling it through your corporations, through your business. Let's be real. Let's stop committing crime and evading and running. Just put in your shelf, fam. We can flip some stuff. We can turn some stuff around. But let's talk about this. Did you not know that if you're making from $0 to $168,000 and $168,600, you know, we all have to pay 6.2% to Social Security. Anybody that's making anything from $168,600 or less, you have to pay 6.2%. You don't get no choice in the matter. That money is taken off of your check from off the rip. Now, entrepreneurs, you something different. You're paying even more. If you're entrepreneurs, salute to you, because you got to pay for you also have to pay a little bit more for your employees and this and that. I'm not diving. It's so much depth and there's so many ways. This is one way. I'm just going to show y'all one thing that they just getting it to us. And then we just listening to this nonsense and we just keep going for it. We just hook, line, and sinker. But now what happens if you make over the $168,600? So if you made $200,000 a year, 168 will be taxed. Well, should I say tax? It will be withdrawn from your income, 6.2%. Now guess how much it goes up to once you get past 168,600? Zero. Zero. So let's put it in plain language. Think about this. If you upper or middle class, just say 100 grand, just say 90 grand, you putting into the system more than somebody will be putting in 35 grand or 25 grand a year. You are carrying the weight of the bulk of the system. If you right there in that sweet spot, just say 50 grand to 168,600. You carrying the bulk of it because they taking out 2.6% out of your check off the rip. And they taking it away for you. And in 1983, our great Ronald Reagan, he didn't like public service, and I ain't getting into all of that. He wanted to slim, trim down government. You gotta, this is fact. But we watched this happen now. Watch this. This would happen. He changed the age for retirement up to 67, and now they're getting ready to play with it again. So think about this, fam. Prior to that change, it was what? 62, 65, just say 65 years old. 62, I think. Don't quote me, do your research. But you was at full retirement. They say, oh, we live longer. The rich live longer. The average person, the way I'm seeing people dropping around here, I don't know. I think you got a few little trinklets of people that do kind of skate. But I remember my great-grandmama. She was born in 1883. She was over 100 years old. There were people back in the day that lived 90, 100 plus years old. Right? I don't know. That's kind of like the census, about the percentage and how many. I can't go for it because I don't believe it. Almost like going to the moon. I hear what they say, but I don't believe it. And they can't confirm it. It's like we can keep a running tab of when you, like, if I submit a vote, I should see my vote go in. Why we don't see clear numbers? Like, why we got to pin on this? Well, anyway, I'm digressing. Let me stay focused. So if I made $1 million, I'm paying up to $168,600, 2.6%. But after anything above that 168,000, I don't have to pay nothing else. Do y'all see something wrong with that? So imagine the more and more you make, that 2.6% becomes virtually nothing. You ain't paying nothing. It's like less than a percent to a billionaire. Well, less than. Like, I think a millionaire is about right at 1% instead of 2.6. So why should the wealthy get a discount because they got money? And they ain't even going into taxes. I'm just saying Social Security. And some of them, some rich folks, even getting Social Security. Hello? Don't even need it. Don't need it at all. I just put it in an account for my great grand and let it just sit there, and I throw it in some stocks, and I don't need it. Put it in there for next 3-4 generations so we can keep this perpetual cycle going. And this frees up enough time where they can continue to build a legacy and live the American dream. Come on, fam. So you mean to tell me that if I made more than $1 million, I'm virtually paying nothing? But now you tell me that we're gonna lose it. It's coming to an end. It's getting devastating. And then you got a billionaire saying the problem is we got people living to 150 years old. We got people living to, and they on social. Do you know of anybody on 100? Go, yeah, man. We needed this. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. What percentage? Okay, it don't matter what system you come up with. You're gonna have some flaws. But you mean to tell me it's a billion people still getting paid at 150 years old? Who getting a check? What percentage it is? So by you trimming that, by you auditing it, and then pushing back today, because every single year they push it back, that's 7% less money. Now let's go back to Social Security. All right. Social Security, it's supposed to level you out to keep you from not seeping down into poverty, to keep you abreast and alive. Now, you can retire at the age of 62, but you won't get your full benefit in my age group until I'm 67. But the system already said you don't put in enough to retire right now. I don't worked enough, and I put enough hours for right now. I should be able to get my Social Security because I put into the system what they projected I would need to live well, whatever year they calculated me to live, right? So, but I can't get it even at 62 because a politician pushed it back to 67. They didn't even need it. They didn't even care nothing about it, really. It's peanuts. It's penny. You can't live off of it anyway. But I'm pushing your money back more so you can keep paying more into the system. And I'll penalize you if you take what you done already earned. I'll penalize you if you take it right now. Fam, what we doing? We dancing with the devil. We promoting just overall greed. Just straight up greed. We're gonna give you a system. When I first started working, which they quickly stopped. But I can remember when I first started working. If you work 25 years here, we'll give you $1,000 a month every month. If you work 20 years here, we'll give you $1,200 every month for the rest of your life. What a company. You don't have to pay nothing, but we'll give you that. Then all of a sudden, old politician get rubbed the right way, get paid the right way, change the rules on you. We're going to stop all that type with corporation. We're not going to put that taxation on corporation. We're going to build and allow the corporation to grow and multiply so they can give more jobs. Give you more jobs. So we're going to take that oppression off of them, and we're going to come up with this 401 and 4K, and we're going to empower the people, even though the account will be managed by your company. Your company will still get certain interests off of participating with certain financial investment groups. The financial investment groups will get a little piece off of it. Your corporation get a little piece off of it. And then what we'll do for you, great worker, that's putting all your money, stacking it, we'll give you a little pinch off the pie. We get the majority of the pie. Because we'll give you a perspective and give you a bunch of charts and a bunch of stuff, and here you are now, this is where you can be, and this is how you can be this way, and this how, but we won't share what we give us. Well, it's disclosed in there in that document that's 15, 20, 30 pages to tell you what they get. And then we won't tell you what the corporation getting off of you again. Not only are we getting your labor, not only do we get uh when you're successful, when you grow the company, you build a company, we won't share the profits or none of that with you. We only give it to high level executives and CEOs, and we only give that to them. We'll keep you at a good steady wage above prevailing wages, just a little bit above minimum wage, or we even double minimum wage, you know. But we'll give you a piece of the pie after we get for all them years you work, and we hold it, and we put contingencies on your money, and we'll penalize you if you touch your money, and then we're gonna double tax you and triple tax you once you get your money. Then most people say, well, I gotta let this money grow because I ain't got enough to live off of, and my social security ain't enough, and because I took it at an age, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but I know I'm tired of working and I'm hurting, but I now got to get a job, but I can't make so much money because I'm cutting, but my Medicaid going up, my Medicare going up. Come on, fam. All I'm saying is, please, please, please do some research. Stop saying yes, yes, we need this, we need that. And I don't care whether it's Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, none of it. Because they ain't leaders no more. I used to walk to work with a CEO. Back when CEOs were real CEOs. Instead of driving a car, he walked to work. And guess what he walked? He walked to work with his employees. So if you had anything that you wanted to say, you had any input about the company or whatever, I ain't talking about what I thought about, what I felt. He did it every day, even when it was raining. Then he ended up saying, maybe we should get a van. He started doing a van in the community. He could have been a multi-millionaire. You wouldn't have known it. But he listened to the people. He heard the people. He reacted. His salary was bigger than mine, but he still was a human being. Right? Fam, we are promoting the wrong people, period. We are rallying and supporting the wrong people, period. I don't care what nationality, don't care what group, don't care what party, none of it. Let's get out of our just dancing to the beat and feeling on emotions, and let's really start. I'm about ready to have some more kids, Gigi, because I want to start raising some real politicians, some real leaders. Because I'm like, this don't make no sense. This is not social media entertainment. Government was never supposed to be earning profits. Never was supposed to be earning profits. It was supposed to be providing sources and resources. That's why you got to separate that from corporate America. But can you imagine the biggest employer in the United States? It ain't no Google. It ain't no SpaceX. It's the government. It's the biggest employer because it touches every single household, whether you own assistance, whether you, everybody pay. People say, well, they living off the government. They still paying taxes. It still goes into this system. And the system says, I'm going to decide who plays and who gets a piece of the pie and who don't get a piece of the pie. And I'm going to decide how much of the piece of the pie I'm going to give them. Get your hands out of there. Get your hands out of there. And you are the person paying them. You penalize for just asking for what's yours. And you penalize for it. It's almost like you go to work, you work 40 hours that week, and then they give you a check. And before they give you a check, they said, you need to tell me thank you. You need to beg for this check. You need to get on your knees and ask me for this check. No, man, it's my money. I worked for it. I gave you my time. I gave you my energy. And I shouldn't have had to wait no week or 2 weeks to get it. Because every day you raked it in. Every second you raked it in. And you got further and further in debt using all of these resources to go get some more. Now, how in the world do you can speak, because of your popularity, can speak something into existence that don't even exist and make money off of it? And when you make money off of it, you don't take the money out. You take that money, you borrow from that money, and then you use that to go make some more money, and then you use that to pay back that, but you ain't never lost nothing. And all you are is heavily indebted. And all we gotta do is cut the lights off. It's almost like back in the days, I always said, why ministers gotta get paid? I get it. There's some ministers that do a full-time job and do a great job. But let me ask you a question. The members ain't getting paid. They bring in other members. They bring in other people. Why don't they get nothing? Well, it's not in there for you. You don't come to worship to get paid. I didn't come to worship to get paid, but I did some stuff around here. I did this. Why not? I put in some time to do this and do that. Why can't I get paid? Because you getting paid. Why is it different from you versus me? And then when people start doing that, then they start backing up, right? I read the Bible. I share it with other people. Why are you the only one getting paid? And I ain't getting paid. I'm sitting here struggling to keep my lights on, but I'm paying you. And you done even told me indirectly to give you my last money. And then you didn't feel like I gave you nothing. You circled it right back around and asked for a little bit more and give me a real guilt trip to make me feel like I'm less than spiritual or less than holy. And then I end up out of guilt give you that. And we don't call that greed. We don't call that greed. But now what's the difference in this leadership? We're going to clean and we're going to audit. We're going to make sure that we're going to reduce expenditures, which in most communities, government is the foundation. That's the only, man, you go in these rural communities out here, fam. You ain't got nothing but prisons, government, police, sheriffs, state troopers, detention centers, hospitals, universities, state colleges, and that's the majority of rural America. And it's much more rural America than it is big cities. And if you taxing it's only a matter of time they're gonna go into all of that. Because what they're gonna do, privatize, lower pay, worse condition, lower benefits. The only reason why some of these jobs do what they do is because government set standards. It used to be government set the standard, and now they say, hey, we're doing this for our employees. You need to do it to your employees. And when you wash that away and you clear all of this, they finna run the chicken house. They finna kill every chicken out there. They're gonna run the failure. They're gonna run the failure, and we're gonna be the part that they run the failure. And you're gonna be so glad that you were able to just to pay the bills, and it's gonna be okay. And there's something wrong with that. My thing is, I don't care whether you make $1 billion, $1 million, $2, $50. Pay the 2.6%. You're taking it out of my check. You a millionaire. Pay the 2.6%. Let's watch if everybody has to pay the 2.6% evenly across the base. There's no more for the rich. There's no less for the rich. There's no more for the low paying people. There's no less. We all just make it nice and even, 2.6%. Don't touch it. Don't borrow from it. Let it collect interest. Let it make sure it's in the interest-bearing account with no commingling. And then let's see what happens. And I guarantee you, you'll probably be able to lower the age of retirement. You will also be able to give some more people some raises and decrease the rate of a lot of other things, because now you got more revenue coming in there. And then guess what we're going to also have? Be able to have my kids, my grandkids to have some Social Security, because they're going to need it. They're going to need it. Because these millennials coming around, Fam, these millennials, they can't even buy a freaking house, man. They struggling with rent, and they locked into that system, and they've been marketed and sold a bill of goods that renting is better than owning. And then every time I talk about owning land and owning a house, I get these naysayers, and y'all do what y'all want to, but you suppressing growth and you suppressing independency. Because I'm telling you, until you own something, I get it. There's some outlying areas where the taxes and insurance is more than the mortgage was. But you ain't got to stay there. You don't have to stay there. You can liquidate your assets and you can move somewhere else to where now you own everything and your small taxes, property taxes, your insurance won't even be nothing. People make the decision what they want to do. So yeah, you're going to always have outliners. So don't get caught up in the outliners. Let's talk about real facts and real things. Our youth are struggling just to get a house. They ain't even thinking about it. They so stressed out, they ain't even thinking about children, raising kids, none of that. But maybe that's the goal. Run the failure with them, less of them, and more of what we have. And by the time we get these robots in here, we ain't gonna need hardly nothing at all. So let the beautiful cities that were beautiful 30 and 40 and 50 years, let them go to rye. Let them just crumble and rot. And if they mad at each other, going after each other, and they see these gangs and they see all that, let them do whatever they're gonna do. Because as soon as it's done and destroyed, the property value will be cheap. A lot of it will be tax liens. We can come in and we can get it. We can clean it up. We can rebuild. It's going to take 30, 40 years, but we'll get it. And it'll be a majestic city. Only for those that can afford it. And we say, man, they for me. Man, they my support system. Pay the 2.6%. You really want to conserve and help? Instead of auditing, pay your 2.6%. Oh, that's too much. That will put a burden on us. Oh, if we shared some of our profits with our staff, if you came to work, and I don't care whether you law enforcement or government official, if you save money versus the normal spend for this month, you came in and not only justified your job, but you also save money, whether you worked at a convenience store, whether you worked at a restaurant, whether you worked at retail. If your group saved money for that month and the profits went up, let us all get a percentage, including our salary. What's wrong with that? You still getting your fat check. You still separated. You still got it going on. When you're making $8 million a day, some of it per hour, in some cases, some of these cats, do y'all understand how much money that is? You think they would really care just to take out maybe a meal throughout their whole businesses? And I'm saying per hour, a meal in a month, to just say, I'm going to, instead of me making $8 million an hour, this month, I'm going to take out $1 million and distribute it through profit sharing through my company that's been paying me these $8 million. It's crazy. Why not? Why not? Why shouldn't we get some of that we work for, that we help? But the greed won't let that happen. And the marketing is real because we believe so much that all of these cats that can't even understand. I don't care where you came from. I don't care how you built just your bootstraps and all of that. Humanity should share with you. People suffer. Why in the world are they suffering? And everybody ain't lazy. Everybody ain't sitting on their duff. Everybody done put into the system, done paved the way and did some stuff for you to get that. It's people out here got 3 and 4 jobs and still can't pay the bills. That ought not be so. That ought not be so. Back when you needed a large population, when you're going to war and it took a lot of people to go to war, it was nothing wrong with us being there, raising our families, men providing for their family. Wasn't nothing wrong with that. But then once that gap kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it's just like deer season. When I'm around here in the country, every year I hear it. I used to work in a department where we did fishing and hunting license, and we sold all kinds of gear, hunting gear and all that kind of stuff. One of my part-time jobs. Um, every year, you know what they'll say? It's too many of them. It's just too many of them, and we gotta keep the population down. It's just too many of them. And for some reason, it struck a chord every time I kept hearing. It's just too many of them. Just too many of them. We got to get out there, man. I can't wait to get out there. And then I'll watch. They go in there, get more than they can consume, and they get the best of the best when they get it. They don't get the frail that's about to go out. You know, it ain't diseased or nothing. Maybe broken leg, broken disc. They don't get that one. They get the best, the strongest, the biggest, the most majestic of its kind. And then they say, take a picture. Take a picture. They bring it to the store. They show me the pictures. And, oh, you got 5 of them. Yeah, man, I got 5. And you want some meat? I got some meat. I'll bring you some. I got more than I can't. I got to buy me another deep freezer. I got about 5, 6 deep freezers, and I can't hardly put no more in there. I'd be glad to bring some on. And I'm sitting here like, hmm. And I get it. You got some people where, man, this is the only way we can support our families and cut the cost. I try to get me at least one. I have them come in there too. I try to get me one. Sometimes I might get two, um, but I just need enough to keep my family sustained. We usually meet throughout the year, and I just try to get me one a year. And then once I get my one, I'm done. Once I get my one, I'm done. Then you got the other ones say it's too many, just too many of them. I gotta get out there. Man, I gotta get out there. Them the only ones y'all got. Y'all don't have no more. Y'all don't have no more bullets. You got all kinds in this world, fam. But listen to what they say. And listen to how your spirit is touched by what they say. And all I'm asking is that let's be fair across the board. Let's stop playing these games. Let's start evading. If I don't have that much to make it, but I got to do my fair share, at least you could do. Trim a little fat, just a little fat. Give the opportunities. But no, it's all attack to keep that gap farther and farther apart. Because when it go to hell, we're gonna fly to Mars until the earth reset. Then we'll come back down and rebuild. We're gonna put ourselves in a time capsule, take our family, put them in here, put them in there, and watch what they do. Because it's just too many of them. It's too many of them. Y'all, I'm finna get out of here. What's up, my brother? What's going on? My boring life. What's going on, my sister? Let's see. Yolanda, how you doing? When you tell people we need to unite, they think, oh, did that. I'm so far behind. Tammy, what's going on? I gave up voting a long time ago. People are tricked into thinking this dude is for them, makes them lazy. And this is the thing, fam. Um, I don't know what's the solution. I wish I did. But there got to be a change. There got to be a momentum change. It's too many of us, man. It's just too many of us. It got to be a momentum change. What's the old saying? Don't know one monkey stop no show. Some people ain't been challenged. That's all I'm gonna say. Some people have not been challenged or told no enough. They've been told a few times, but they ain't been told no enough by power in numbers. Some people ain't been popular. They ain't been cool, and they been cool for the very first time. It's kind of like that little ugly duckling that I don't like that word, but people use it, and we can associate. You make your own visual, whatever you want to make, but it wasn't popular, wasn't cool, wasn't well known, but talent is all get out, intelligence all get out, and then they use that to steam and to fuel them to get them going, and then they become outperforming when everybody else is playing, everybody else doing things. They got this axe to grind, and you don't realize it. And then eventually they become successful. They just grow, and they just get so successful. Next, with success and money comes popularity. You get the trinkets, you get the stuff, and the whole time there's still that child that left back there that was just empty, not accepted, not welcome. And then once they get a little people paying attention to them, once they get a little people liking them and this and that, still that same duckling. But then all of a sudden, through the power, through the money, through the control, they become beautiful. But beautiful to who? Because your spirit is still the same. Your inner man is still the same. And you have let yourself get caught up into a bag full of lies. You have surrounded yourself around people that says, I will do in and everything for you whenever, however, whenever, however. And imagine everywhere you went, you was just accepted and greeted. And everybody agreed with everything you said. And if they didn't, you got rid of them. Imagine where you would be at today. But now let's imagine that internet went down. That crypto went to zero. Imagine no one's no longer interested in technology. People went back to the earth. Imagine nobody is interested in robotics, none of that AI, none of that stuff. Imagine if the world said, we want to live off the land. Yes, there will be a tax, but it'll sure enough remix the game. Because without an audience, a lot of this foolishness would not be happening. Because once you had everything you want to have in this life, everything you dreamt of, King Solomon talked about it. What else is there? The moves that's being made now, it's not for this generation. It's for our generation to come. And I'm sad. And I just hope that my generation in the future saw that I was not in agreement with all of this. Because as we looking at it now, they won't have the 90s where you just had people getting together, having a good time, the cookouts, the family reunions, the holidays, the parties, the parades, the freeness of life, the happy, joyous times, the way the music make them just feel good all over. Standing in line waiting to get your paycheck. I don't won't even have that. You know what I'm saying? To turn in the key for the first time in your home that you own. You know what I'm saying? From getting to see and touch an actual deed, to look at the deed with your name on there, to know that you got deed to a piece of property, to see a title and touch a title on your car, to own that car. Yeah, you really don't own that car. I get it. But it's sitting out here. I'm looking at it. I ain't got to worry about no repo, man. I don't even have to have no insurance on it. I took the tag off. But I can just sit here and look at it. Don't let people talk you out your dreams. Don't let people talk you out of none of this. But let's wake up, fam. Let's stop looking at each other sideways and let's stop opposing each other and realize that it's a mixing pot. And the people that's doing the mixing ain't even in the pot. But the heat just getting turned up more and more. And we just clawing to be at the top of this pot. But even at the top of the pot ain't boiling over until it's too late. By the time it boil over, we run into failure. Run to failure, fam. I'm gonna go all the way down, fam. I apologize. I miss y'all. Um, I apologize. Victoria Hollis, AB, what's going on? Um, my grandson doesn't seem to want to save money for property. They want to go out. Victoria, they've been marketed that way. You know what I'm saying? We gave them these devices, and when I say we, I'm talking about us people. We gave them devices at a young age. We busy working. We out here working, and even times where they around, we busy cooking, cleaning, doing this and doing that because we're working 2 or 3 jobs, and we give them these TVs, these devices, and all they see is a good time. All they see is just fun time. And when they go to work, they see the oppression. You know, you go to work for 8 hours, fam. It's 24 hours in a day. Take you an hour to get ready. Then some people got to commute. Just say it take you 30 minutes to get there, take you 30 minutes to get back. Even though you might get a lunch break, just say an hour lunch break. It really ain't a lunch break because you're rushing to go ahead and get your food, do what you need to do. Because you know subconsciously it's like it's like a Sunday night. You think about going to work Monday morning. Then you do that for 10 hours. That's 11 hours. Then when you get there, you if you got a family, you got kids, you got to go pick them up. You got to go and get them dressed. Got to help them with homework. You got to sit down with them, and if anything needs to be done as far as picking up something or anything like that, now you're looking at about 12, 13 hours. And some people got big, longer commutes, and some people got ride the bus, ride the train. They got to get to a car to get to a train. Some people, I mean, some of us blessed, and some of us really got a test of time. And now you left with 10 hours and 24 hours. And you're supposed to sleep 8 to 10, but you can't sleep. Your mind's spinning. You're thinking about, Lord have mercy. And I ain't not talking about nobody with 2 jobs or 3 jobs to doing Uber after they get to work or Lyft after they get to work. I'm not talking about those people. And you have time to sit and think or ponder. It's no reason why they want to party. Them days right there of just doing all of this, and then you do all of this, and guess what happens? You still, oh, I'm sorry, you don't quite make enough to get this. Oh, I'm sorry, your credit score ain't quite this way or that way. Oh, I'm sorry, your credit score good, but you hadn't did enough long-term debt. Oh, I'm sorry, the house got a bidding war. Oh, I'm sorry, you're bidding against corporations into a neighborhood. They buying up the neighborhood. We ain't gonna stop them because they're giving us top dollar and they're giving us cash offers. We're not gonna slow this process down. Oh, I'm sorry. But on the other hand, here you go, rent. You ain't gotta cut no grass, you ain't gotta do nothing. We got free Wi-Fi. Just don't even worry about it. Just pay the rent. And it's okay in the beginning. But what you don't watch, the rent keep going up and up and up. See the pot? See the pot? It's going to be boiled, and the rent keep going up and up and up. Then you do 10 years of that, then you do 15 years of that, then you do 30 years of that. Then you realize, OMG, rent used to be affordable. But now I can't qualify for a house. I can't do this because I've been struggling just to keep up with the pace of rent and inflation and car payments and insurance, taxes. I've just been fighting and scurrying just to stay alive. Now you expecting me to save up $180,000 cash, $50,000 cash to put down on a house? They won't put me 2 and 3 hours away from my job because it goes back to your time. So in order for me to get a good, decent job in a good neighborhood where I ain't got to worry about nobody kicking in my door, it's a reason why they live at home or rent. Because we ain't giving them a chance. And what I mean by we, I mean by all of us. Because we hadn't done what we need to do so that we can save something and give something to them. I'd rather spend $800, $900, $1,200 for a car instead of maybe do $350 for a halfway put that every now and then I got to put $1,000 in. But I'm going to put some money to some of this land because I don't want my grandkids to start out with nothing. And even if they can't afford nothing, they can come here and stay for free. Don't worry about no water bill. Don't worry about no sewage bill. Don't worry about no trash bill. I got you, fam. And for some of us, I don't see, you don't own it. You got all these acres. Get tired of saying how many I have because I say how many I have so it gives you hope. But now people trying to turn that against me. You know what I'm saying? You tell me which is better. Me staying in a $500,000 or $1,000,000 house that I might have paid 200,000 or 300,000, but I can't afford to leave it, and I'm stuck here, and my taxes keep going up, my insurance keep going up, and the crime going up, and all of this other distractions and noise and all of this, and I'm holding on because it looks good and it looks appealing, but then here I am, I switched it and say, hey, I'm going to sell it all, get rid of it, move to the country, listen to the birds, listen at the tree sway, listen at the cow to yell, listen at the hawks and everything else, and plant my own food and have my own water system and have my own irrigation system, have my own hens, have my own garden, have my own flowers, have my own walking trails, all of that. And I pay $300 a year, not a month. And I know I don't own it because I got to pay the $300 a year. I get it. Yes, I could cash it in and go right back out there and go get that $500,000 house and maybe have like $200,000 payment on that $500,000 house and go right back into it and then watch my taxes keep going up, watch my insurance keep going up, and have a postage stamp and be arguing with my neighbor about cutting my grass, cutting on my yard, or arguing with my neighbors about crossing the fence, stealing my fruits off my trees, stealing the flowers off my hedges. I could go back to that because I don't really own nothing. I get that. But I'm telling you, fam, don't let nobody that rent tell you about you don't own nothing. Don't let nobody leasing tell you about something you don't really own nothing. Talk to some people that own something and ask them, is it really worth it? So, fam, you know, I don't do these just to just be doing them. I do it that I care about you, and I want you to get more knowledgeable about what's going on around you and what's going on. And I need us to speak up and let's start talking about it. A lot of y'all got platforms and stuff like that. A lot of y'all got followers and all that stuff, man. Let's start speaking up. Let's start shedding the light on some stuff because what we're showing our youth right now is that we're gonna be complacent, we're gonna be silent, and we're gonna allow a few super wealthy people just do whatever the freak they want to do with the stuff that we work and our forefathers worked so hard for. And they're going to be great, but we're going to be left with all the residue. And we're going to still go for the okie doke for the last 50 years, last 60, 70 years. And we're going to just keep getting caught up in the A, B. You on A team. No, you on B team. I'm on B team. No, you B team. No, I'm on C team. How you get on C team? No, we keep doing all that stuff over and over again and keep feeding the fire, feeding the gap, and increasing the gap further and further. Or we can be like, okay, I ain't got no place to stay. I'm coming staying with you. Yeah, I'm coming over there. I want a piece of what you got. Did I help you get what you got? I don't know. Eventually, that's going to happen. I don't know. Somebody got to put gas in the car. I don't know. Somebody got to change the oil. Somebody got to cook your meals. Somebody got to clean the streets. Somebody got to pick up your trash. Somebody got to fix your water. Somebody got to fix your plumbing. Somebody got to do your electricity. Somebody got to build your houses, your mansions. Somebody got to build your boats, your yachts. Somebody got to build your cars. Somebody got to program the computer for the robot to do what they need to do. Somebody got to fix it. Somebody got to be innovative and create trends and fads and culture. Y'all stay well, stay blessed. What's up, Rob? In the garden, what's going on? Like I said, I do apologize if I did miss you. I'm gonna go back and read a lot of your comments. Never understood people drawing social security that don't need it. Well, I told you, Victoria, that's play money. Imagine, Victoria. I don't know your situation, but I'm gonna share my situation. Imagine I was super rich, and I ain't paying but less than 0.00005% into my retirement. But I sit here and I can draw retirement at age 62, and just say it's whatever $1,000 a month. I don't need it, but guess what that is? That's more play money. I might use that money just to go gamble this month with. Or I might put it into an interest-bearing account. Or I might put it into a stock. And then will it down to my grandkids. So by the time I got grandkids or great-grandkids I ain't even got, I just put it into an account and I just get my lawyer, draw up some papers real quick and be like, I'm not going to draw a dime. I don't need it. That's just chicken change. But hey, that ain't going to do nothing but keep our lineage going richer and richer. Now, before my grands and great-grandkids are born, they coming into the world millionaires already. Billionaires being privy to the information that they got. They come into the world with play money. That's how different things are. And greed is greed. A greedy person don't care if it's a quarter or penny on that ground. They gonna pick it up. It don't matter how much money they got in their bank. Don't matter how much money. The reason you can't understand it, because you ain't greedy. Greed is real. I don't want to leave a penny. Go get a metal detector and walk my land. But you got enough money. I don't care. Go walk the land and give me every coin and bring everything back. Y'all think I'm being silly, but I'm telling you, you've been around rich folk. Not all rich, but greedy people. It's a difference. You got rich and you got greedy. It's a big difference. But there's no way in the world somebody should be sitting on $1 trillion or millions and billions of dollars, and we looking at stuff going around, and you say you care for us and you love us. Ain't no way in the world, man. That's almost like just say you get an athlete. He go out there and he work hard. He go through the combine. Just say it don't matter what athlete. And then he get this sign-on bonus, and he got just say 10 mil over the next 3 years. What one of the first thing he gonna do with some of that money, or she gonna do? What one of the first thing he or she gonna typically do with that money? They gonna give back to their parents or to their family or somebody. They gonna give. It don't matter. They gonna give. I'm just saying. Just something wrong. It is something wrong. AB says 300 per year property taxes over 30 years is only $9,000. Compare that to a monthly payment over a 30-year mortgage. It's real, fam. And this is what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that. And people say, well, you got eminent domain and you got this and they taking people land, they doing this. But how much land is out there, fam? How much land out there? Yeah, I've had family members who've been impacted by eminent domain. But my uncle showed me what to do. My uncle sat there and he sat there. They was building a road and they decided that we taking this side of the road and we widen the road and we taking your property. That's what they decided. And they tried to get him peanuts for his property. And he said, oh no, oh no, oh no. It won't get done. And I'm not moving and I'm not agreeing. This is what I'm willing to compromise. You're gonna allow me to be equivalent or better than where I am now. See, he didn't exchange money. I thought that was cool. He didn't exchange money because they wanted to give him cash. Oh, this is the value of your home. He said, oh no, no, because what he said, I want this house, and you pay for it in exchange for my house. That's what he said, and he stood on it. That cash offer, nope, because I'm fine where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. I got a nice, clean house. I got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, extra large bedroom, and I got land. At that time, I think he had maybe 2 acres, 2 or 3 acres, right? Now, either you give me a house on 2 and 3 acres that's livable, presentable, or give me enough money to buy one that I pick out, because you all are inconveniencing me, or I'm not moving. And I know it could have got ugly. It did. It got strung out, but he stood on it. And I'm telling you, fam, you much rather have eminent domain hit you because you own something than be in a rental and they tell you got to go. Like I said, I ain't talking about what I thought about what I feel. At the end of your lease, or if they in your lease or terminate it, they may give you a $1,000 or $2,000, whatever, depends on what it is, right? But when you own something, it hits different. You ain't walking away just empty. Now, even the people where they say in Texas and other places, they taking away people's land to do reservoirs and all that, they giving them some money, but they say, I can't afford to do what I'm doing somewhere else or near here, the same equivalent. My heart goes out to that. But at the same time, they ain't walking away with nothing like if you would if you were renting. They're not walking away with nothing. That's a big difference, fam. So don't let people talk you out of this stuff, man. Don't let people talk you out of this stuff. Equivalent or better. Period. Period. You know, I had another uncle. He's a mechanic. He his truck got wrecked. He had a driver that wrecked his truck, and the insurance company tried to cut him a check. Well, this is what it's worth. He said, "Oh no, oh no." You're not giving me no check on what you telling me this is worth, and you evaluate my truck and it's wrecked. No, you're not giving me that. And boy, it strung out and strung out. He says, either you give me a truck that's gonna replace this truck or something better. And he ended up getting exactly what he wanted. But too many times, an offer is an offer, and that's all it is. Don't mean you gotta accept it. An offer is an offer. Insurance was designed not for you to get wealthy, but it was to bring you whole, to bring you back to where you were prior to the accident. If when people offer you don't bring you back to where you were, start, we shouldn't even have no conversation. So, flip side, if government trying to tell you something that's not even going to bring you where you are, you need to reject it. Period. Reject it. Y'all pushing back the age, paying us pennies on our dollars. We need to reject it. And if they allowed to have them, they need to, the little cronies, the little puppets, they need to get up out of there. Simple as that. Yep. And no, I wouldn't hire them when they don't have a job. Let those big companies hire them. And they might hire them, but they won't stay on long because they done used them. They done ran to failure. And you'll watch the tables turn. You'll watch a lot of stuff turn. But just remember, your time is valuable. Your resources valuable. Your talent is valuable. Your creativity is valuable. It's priceless. Can't be a dollar put on it. Every time we take something and we exchange for it, we're taking less than what it's worth every single time. So whenever somebody tell you they're doing you a favor and you done the work and you put in the time, no, I did you a favor because I know the fact that I'm working for you is less than what it's worth. It's devalued. So I devalued myself so I can feed my family and take care of my family. And I understand that. But I agreed to that. But you won't hold me having me feel like I should be so inviting to you doing something for me when you really just getting me at a low value. Stephanie, what's up? Stephanie Z2. Never seen you. Good to see you today. Family first. So what do you do if they keep trying to play with you and give you a offer you don't want? You stand. You stand on business. Um, Always remember too. You know, the judicial system is funny. Okay, my battery about to go, I guess. But the judicial system is funny, right? Lawyers are always looking for clients. Lawyers are always looking for clients. It's no difference between when you're negotiating. One thing I learned in business, I learned it first by playing cards in the street. If you walk in to a card game, the card game begins before you walk up to the card table or bench or stoop, wherever you playing cards, on top of a car, hood, or whatever. You starts before you walk and approach the table. So it don't matter about what you got in your hand. What matters is the perception that your opponent sees within you. And it's going to tell you whether you're going to have enough time to build that hand or you're going to fold or cave. Because if they know you hungry, I don't know, every month we get offers, cash offers to buy our land. Ever since we bought our land. When I lived in the house, I ain't get none of that. You know, I would get it sometimes. I had to remember. I would get it sometimes whenever the market gets real crazy. You know what I'm saying? Every 5 to 10 years, yeah, I get a little, like people want realtors or whatever. But no, These were cash offers that comes almost every month, at least one. Sometimes it's 3 and 4. I get telephone calls. They want to offer me money for my land. Remember, the banks don't want to lend you none because it's a risk owning land. How in the freak is owning land a risk? Everything is going to tell you don't go buy no land. Oh, it ain't no value in that. It's you just throwing away money. It's just going to sit there. If it ain't making no money, it don't make no sense. But you going to need a place to grow. You're going to need a place to go. Instead of you going to Disney World, instead of you going to all these places, build you some cottages, build you some Airbnb, build you a place of peace if you don't do nothing for it. And instead of going on vacation, go on your land. You might hunt, fish, whatever, if you don't want to live there. It can be a vacation spot. It can be a family vacation spot. Now, why pay all these billionaires this money to have it at this venue or this and that? Put the money in your land. So when you stressed out, you aggravated, you take some time off, you go to your land. If you don't want to live there 24/7. But eventually you keep coming out here, you're going to be like, man, I don't even want to leave. I just want to stay here. You got to experience it. I don't like bugs. I don't like this. I don't like that. Baby, y'all going to be eating it. They already using bugs for food. You eating it. You drinking the milk, maggot milk. You doing it already. You in the city, it ain't no gnats, ain't none of that because they done already got them and they in the food. You driving in line to drive through. For some reason in the beginning you like, these fries don't taste the same. These noodles don't quite taste the same. Something different. Then after a while you keep eating it. Then you be craving for it because all the nice ingredients and chemicals they put in it to make you a little slightly addicted, kind of like that Coke thing back in the days. Man, I don't know why. I just feel like I need some Coke. I just feel like I need to drink a Coca-Cola. And they do it and just say, we'll do it till they tell us no. We'll spray some forever chemicals until they tell us no. And by the time they sue us and go after us, it'll be pennies on the dollar. Cycle and repeat, cycle and repeat, cycle and repeat, cycle and repeat. And what we do, oh man, you saw that commercial, dog. Man, that was the best commercial, man. Out of all the commercials, man, that was the best commercial, man. You want to go, man? Come on, let's go on over there, man. Oh, let's go in by that. Man, look, man, the vibe, man, when I went into the store, man, the whole vibe and this and that and that and this. Then you just, but yet, you don't want to come out here in nature, enjoy a little bit of quiet, freedom, peace. Listen. Air fresh, water good. I don't know, fam. I want to baptize it, but it's one of them things you gotta want to do it. You gotta want to do it. Resilience says the offer is the shiny suit. It is not required to be equivalent to unless you push back. It's negotiation, fam. And for some reason, the marketing, what they call the propaganda, the media tool, the big machine has got us where I'm just glad I got that car. I didn't even think I'd be approved. I'm just glad I got that house. I didn't think I was going to be approved. I'm glad I got that loan. I didn't think I was going to be approved. When other folks, they move, if they don't cut the right deal for me when I walk in here, I'm not getting it. If they not willing to bend on that price, I'm going somewhere else. No, I don't want that car. I want that car. And I did the math. I know I can afford it, but y'all got to trim down the price. So it's almost the end of the month. Do you want to move this car or not? Do you want to move this unit or not? And I know I shopped around. I'm willing to give y'all maybe a 1,000 or something more than what I saw it online because we locally, I want to support my local people. But I'm not going to do this $5,000 and $10,000 thing. Or you're not going to put me in this vehicle I don't want it. I need a vehicle, but I don't need it that bad. There's Uber. So do we have a deal or do we not? There's a piece called negotiation. Anytime you buy anything major, negotiate. I see that refrigerator, but it got a few dings on it. I'm not giving you full price on it. Well, I can get you one and order one. No, I need one now. Um, well, I can't do that. Well, let me talk to somebody who can. Let me talk to the store manager. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm willing to wait. Yeah, I'm willing to wait. Let me send an email. What's the email? Negotiation is real. It happens every day. The wealthy does it all the time. It's almost like I remember. I'll never forget. And I'm finna get out of here. I'll never forget. I used to work. Um, I had some friends. They were into the entertainment business, right? And I never forget when I used to do security and when I used to do detail, right, for some of these quote elites. We'll have an artist, and then we're supposed to just take them to the venue, but they always want to go here. They want to stop here. They want to get some razzle dazzle. They might want to stop at the mall. They might want to stop at a certain store, a certain restaurant. They want to go in and get the fans all riled up and get them all looking, and they want to feel all good and confident. Maybe that's a pre-pump prompt. Maybe that's something a priming to the pump before they get on stage or something like that. But it always happens, and then you always got this radio or the call saying, "Where y'all at? Where y'all at?" And I'm saying I'm trying to get them to the venue, but they want to stop. They want to do this, want to do it, especially the rappers. So you do that, right? Um, they go to the mall or go to a restaurant. You take them to a restaurant. They walk in. Everybody kind of go crazy. Everybody kind of do this, and then you just kind of try to keep them back, keep them kind of cool, whatever. And then you walk them through, and you go in before they go in. You survey the spot. You make sure ain't nothing crazy looking. You look for colors. You look for certain demographics and certain things, and then you go talk to the manager and let them know, hey, we got such and such coming in, well-known artist, such and such, but we need a good, smooth transaction. If you can, let us go ahead. Can you open up a register so we can go ahead and go to the register and then go ahead and check them out because we want a good, smooth, and we got a time limit. We need to come. And then so what happens is they pretty much, I ask them, what you want to order, how you want to order. Now, some of them say, I order myself, man. I want to be around people. I want, that's the youth. And some of them, they'll tell you, I want to order such and such. So if I knew what they want to order, I go ahead and order it and go ahead and make sure I check the bathrooms and I walk around to make sure it's all good. And then I go back and I go to either the limo or to the SUV and I go let them out. And then once I let them out, I walk them through and we go in there. People go crazy. They do this, they do that, and they love it. They enjoy it. Then they go to the register because there's no line. Remember that one register opened up, and then we go there and they go ahead and get their food. They check out. Guess what happens? Because they well known and quote got money, they got first level service. Most of the time, they didn't pay for the food. They opened up a register for them. They made sure security was there. They made sure everything was the best. They didn't get cold food. They got fresh food. And sometimes they'll throw some extra in the bag. That's the difference between wealthy, famous, and you bring your everyday self in there and see what happens. So I do have compassion for the wealthy, but I'm saying wealthy should have compassion for the ones that make sure they good. That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking for no handouts, but I'm saying be fair about what you're doing. If we in the system, let us all be fair. If y'all taking that 33 and third percent out of my check, the wealthy should pay 33 and a third too. So don't talk to me about no deficit, debt, none of that stuff, and you ain't putting in the 33 and the third. You ain't paying the 2.6 for the social. Don't talk to me about none of that because all you're doing is playing games and pandering and insulting people's intelligence. And you go behind the scenes and be, yeah, no, we got to, man. Matter of fact, after that speech, I'm probably gonna make another $1 million just off of that 10-minute speech. I guarantee you, all my businesses, all my investments, everything just gonna blow up through the roof. Man, I might even come up with a meme coin. Yeah, man. I guarantee we can knock off about a good million off of that. Maybe a billion. Man, the way that I see it, if we can do, I seen it on the show. If we can do this, and I remember back in 1940, President such and such said this to the people. If you could just say that, man, it'll stir them up, man. It'll get them going. Man, your meme coin will take it through the roof. What? Meanwhile, you got that contract? Yeah. What we're gonna do? We're gonna drop this announcement, and we're gonna go ahead and sign this contract, and then we'll get all that done. We get all that taken care of. Okay, yeah, because I know such and such will be happy if we go ahead and get that contract signed. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move that, and then we'll get that done. All right. Look forward. See him this afternoon. Yeah. You be ready for the press conference? Yeah, I'm ready. Every day. Every day. And if you think this man signing and ain't read that stuff, you crazy. You get brief 24/7 on what's going down. You get everything, cost analysis, cost breakdown. You get everything. And it's all laid out. And then you got one person that give you a high level. And it's so much fluff and stuff in there that ain't no way you just get some assignment. But if you trust your advisor, you'll do it. If you trust your attorney, you'll do it. And no one's checking the checker. Ain't nobody checking the checker. Because the checker said, I ain't finna be around all this money and not get nothing. Really, I ain't making but $400,000, $200,000 a year. And I got to get some of this. So, I don't know. But the bottom line of all this conversation got nothing to do with the everyday person. Nothing. The whole conversation had nothing to do with the only time that conversation has to do and when it's called rallying and motivating the people. That's all. SSI for me was first at 66. Then they made it 66 in 5 months. Then 66 in 6 months. Now about 66 in 8 months. 67 for us. For me, 67. But every time they move it, they keeping you away from your money. If you already paid into the system, did the system at 62 or 59, I think at one time it was 59 and a half. Your money is already there. It's already done. Why are you pulling me away and penalizing me for moving it back? When all gotta happen is, shoot, 1 or 2 decades of the billionaires paying 2.6%, man, you're gonna have more money than you could even imagine if they paid 2.6% out of theirs. Come on, fam, do the math. Sit there and do the math. And I'm not talking about one individual. There are millions of people that got billions of dollars. Don't get it twisted. But what they do is only make $120,000 a year, but my corporation make billions. I only make $88,000 a year, but my corporation makes $8 million a minute, $8 million an hour, $8 million a week, $8 million a month, $8 million a year. But I don't make the 88,000. But it's not against the law. Not against the law. I can't wait until I am in a position to buy some land. I bought a house about 3 years ago, and I'm counting the years until the little kiddos graduate high school. I feel you. I feel you, Steph. Look, we had to do the same thing. We had to do the same thing. And that's the beautiful thing. Be patient. Don't rush nothing. Don't overextend yourself. Take your time. Be patient. You're going to build equity. And as you build equity, you're going to have some times where the market going to go down. Sometimes the market going to go up. But if you stay vigilant and you stay committed to your dream and you be disciplined and be consistent, watch this. You'll be there in no time. No time. They take advantage of women bad. And they take advantage of women and everybody. Those that are silent and doing everything. It's our money. You're right. It's our money. It's not theirs. It's your money. But you're not responsible enough to handle your money. You need to wait before you get your money. You put in for it. Now remember, 30 years of working, 40 years of working, 25 years of working is not enough for you to wait. You need to wait a little bit longer. Now, I hope don't nothing happen to you. I hope don't nothing happen to you, but you need to wait. You need to wait as long as you possibly can. And hopefully won't nothing happen to you. What you think they betting on? All right, I'm getting out of here, y'all. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and don't forget to keep on growing. And y'all give me some comments what you think about should the wealthy pay 2.6% in the system, even though they don't need it? Should they pay 2.6? Are we not all Americans? Are we not all a part of the system? Are we not true-blooded Americans? Should the wealthy not pay 2.6%? Just like the poor folks, the $20,000 earner, the $15,000 earner, the $35,000 owner, $40,000 owner, earner, the $55,000 earner, the $120,000 earner, the $167,000 earner. Should they not? Should only they pay, or should all of us pay? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and don't forget to keep on growing. Grow. Take care until the next time.